the answer for number 12 on the final accounting prep exam. Number 12 we're going to split up into two parts. This is 12A, the part where we pay employees. So in this we found out that it's probably in the middle of the week, it's our year end, we've got to record payroll, even though we won't be paying the employees probably for another couple days to a Friday, or maybe even next week. But it is our year end, so we have to record the fact that we owe it to them. Again, that's under the accrual method. So we said we owe employees $70,000. So there's our wages, which is an expense we can record. Wages expense, $70,000. We haven't paid it, but we owe it. So we're allowed to record that under the accrual method. Now, this $70,000, we don't just cut them a check for $70,000. We've got to take things out of their pay, as you probably know. And that includes our Social Security or FICA, and our federal withholdings and state withholdings, which were listed in the problem. So let's start with the FICA or Social Security rate. In this problem, we've made the rate, for ease of calculation, 10%. So we multiply that by 10% and come up with $7,000 of that $70,000 needs to go to the government, not the employee. But we haven't paid it yet, so it's a payable, a liability that is owed to the government, and that is Social Security, or what we call FICA payable. That's $7,000 based on our calculation. Now we also see, based on the tables, we have to withhold $10,000 of federal withholding from the employees. So that $10,000 will also go to the federal government, so it's a payable to the federal government, and I just call that FWT for federal withholding. Payable, $10,000, will be a liability on your balance sheet. The final piece is the state. They need to get their piece of the action too. So that's state withholding, payable, of $6,000. That $6,000 is withheld again into our account, and then we'll pay it to the state when we turn that over. So the employee doesn't get a check for $70,000 in this case. They get a check for $47,000. Everything else being withheld for the government, but we haven't paid them. So it's not a cash, it's accrued payroll, which is also a liability account payroll. So accrued payroll, all four of these are liabilities. This means we haven't paid them yet, but we still get to record the expense on the income statement. These are on the balance sheet to show we owe them. And that is the answer to 12A, and in a second I'll talk about 12B.